All right, Justin. Well, thanks for sharing about what's going on with your family. Sounds like there's a lot of tension in the house, and you're kind of stressed out about it. If it's all right, I'd like to switch gears a little bit and actually talk about your drinking. Would that be all right?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Well, actually, we with our every new person who comes in, we do a screening, and it's an alcohol and drug screening. Do you remember filling that out when you came in?
Yeah, the paperwork at the beginning, yeah.
Yeah. And this, I want to reassure you, this is a normal part that we do with everyone who comes in here to our clinic. And I know it can make people a little bit uncomfortable to talk about drinking or drug use. And so I just want to reassure you that everything you share here is kept confidential. And what that means is that even your parents won't know what you say here unless you share something about you being a risk to yourself. Would that be all right if we talked about it?
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Okay. So on the screening, you indicated that you drink. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, I've been drinking for a couple years. It's mostly with just friends, at parties, on weekends only.
Sure.
I mean, we have a lot of fun. I think the drinking helps, deal with some of that stress I mentioned earlier. And then also, like, it helps me more social, sort of, kind of, like, with my friends. Helps loosen the vibe at the party and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that I just really enjoy for the relaxing kind of part of it.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you enjoy it mostly on the weekends.
Yeah.
You hang out with your friends and drink and helps you have a good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Thanks for letting me know. I want to let you know that we look at alcohol and drinking as a health issue. We know that kind of like blood pressure and glucose levels can be markers for your overall health and your well-being. We look at your drinking in the same way, that there's levels of risk with drinking, that there's levels of risk that are no risk, and then it moves all the way up to high risk. And so with your screening, you scored a 4. Now, according to national guidelines, that actually puts you at the moderate risk level. Mm-hmm. And what that means is that with your drinking, you, based on these national guidelines, many people who drink at this level have encounter moderate problems in terms of their health or well-being. What do you think about that?
I mean, I get why they're saying that. They probably have their reasons, but I don't think risk is the right word. I don't see it as a risk for me. I don't. It's because it's just me and my friends. We don't do anything crazy or stupid, really. I normally don't drink till I'm like really sick. I don't do anything. Me and my friends don't do anything crazy and stupid. It's not like I'm getting in trouble. I've had no trouble with the law or anything like that.
Sure.
So I don't know if risk is the right word.
Yeah,
So.
You're not drinking extreme amounts. You're not getting in trouble with the law. You haven't gotten arrested. So you don't feel like you fit with this moderate risk level.
Not really. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I appreciate you being honest, and I know that what I try to do is I'm not here to lecture you or to tell you whether you should be drinking or not. Actually, my role here is actually to help you figure out where drinking fits into your life and whether it might be contributing to some of these problems you talked about earlier with your family and with stress. And so, would that be all right if I help you think about where drinking fits into your life?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay. So we actually do something. It's called a Decisional Balance worksheet.
Okay.
And what I'd like you to do is just take a minute and think about some of the good things about drinking.
Thank you.
And maybe some of the not so good things about drinking.
So just fill it out kind of thing?
Sure.
Okay, well, I mean...
And start with the good things. What do you enjoy about drinking?
Okay. I think it helps me socialize.
Okay.
As I said, the vibe of the party. That's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes if the party is, really well or whatever, and I meet a girl, it keeps me from being lonely that night. So that's nice. I don't know. I mean, it helps me relax. Helps me forget about my parents always bagging on me all the time.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think that's about it. I mean, it's the
I mean,
socialization.
those are big things.
Yeah.
Just having fun, enjoying the vibe of the party, relaxing, feeling not so stressed with the parents always being on your case, being able to meet girls and hook up with them.
Yeah.
So, those are some of the things that you find pretty good about drinking. Is there anything that's not so good about drinking?
Well, I mean, there's obviously hangovers every once in a while.
Sure.
Those are annoying. And especially, I think, honestly, it would be, I think hangovers on, like, Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Those are never good because I'm up at 6 in the morning for school.
Ooh,
So, yeah, hangovers, Mondays. And then, if I'm busy drinking on the weekend, I mean, I guess, one of the things my parents bag on me about would be the fact that I'm not studying. And so my grades aren't quite what they could be.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it does, I don't know. But, so yeah, the grades kind of affected. And then, on the subject of school, not a lot of people look at, drinking as a positive thing. And so my, friends list is kind of limited, I guess. I don't have the best reputation around the school. People just kind of know me as the guy who parties and drinks, and it's, so it's not the greatest reputation.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
obviously that also is with the way my parents don't, because they're always bagging on me. I just feel like they don't like it at all, and I don't like arguing with my parents. I don't like having my parents, yelling at me all the time about this.
Sure.
So.
Yeah. Right. So just having them on your case about the drinking is not so good thing.
Yeah, and then obviously the booze aren't free, so I have to borrow the money from my parents, wallets and purse and whatnot. So without them knowing. So
Okay.
it's,
Right.
yeah.
And it sounds like you don't feel so great about that.
It's not fun because I know my parents work for that money, obviously, and but I like paying for my friends. My friends, I feel like more like generous. It's nice to feel generous.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Able to buy drinks for everyone, and you're the popular one at the party.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well liked.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there anything else that's not so good?
I don't know. Other than, grades, it's kind of, expensive, reputation. I mean, those are not helped by that. I get that, but other than that, I think that's about it.
Okay. So if I gather what you said, there's some good things about drinking. You enjoy the vibe, you enjoy the party atmosphere, being able to hook up with girls. You enjoy being able to relax, to let some of the stress off.
Yeah.
But on the other side, you also feel that you obviously don't like the hangover, and the hangover can be really bad those days you wake up on Monday mornings at 6 o'clock. You also don't like that it's kind of bringing down your schoolwork and you're not able to study.
Yeah.
And you also said that you don't like that you have to take from your parents' wallets, which you feel kind of bad about, it sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And so did I about capture that, how you feel?
Yeah. That's about it.
Okay. So it sounds like you see some good things and not so good things about drinking. What do you make of all of that?
Well, I feel like I know people have always been telling me that it's a big problem, and I mean, I guess it does, you know, have some drawbacks, but I feel like it's, you know, it would, I understand the benefits if it were to not, to, you know, not be as prevalent in my behavior.
So you've thought about reducing your drinking?
Yeah, occasionally I kind of, yeah, like in the mornings I wake up or whatever, and it's just like, oh, this could have been, you know, it could have been avoided, kind of thing. And it's just, yeah.
Yeah. Now, we know that can be a difficult thing to do, to reduce your drinking. To change your behavior in any way can be difficult. And we know that people can vary in terms of how ready they are to change. We know that obviously some people are not ready at all, where they don't want to change and don't see value to it. And then there's others on the other end of the spectrum where you can be absolutely ready to change and feel like you must change. But most people actually find themselves in the middle, where there's some place in between that range. And so what I have here is kind of an illustration of that. That some people are, they are not ready to change at all, and others are at 10 where they're absolutely ready. So seeing this ruler, where would you put yourself on it?
I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe I could shoot for 4. A 4, maybe, yeah, 4.
You feel like you're a 4, maybe a 3 or 4?
Maybe, yeah, like a 4 is a lot. I mean, yeah, maybe 3,
Okay.
somewhere in there, yeah.
Okay. So you put yourself as a 3, that you're somewhat ready to change. What makes you put yourself there instead of a 1?
I guess because, I mean, I think it's, I don't know, because I think, honestly, my reputation is important to me. Like, what others think about me is really important. So I guess the reason for the 3 would be I don't want my parents always, you know, on my case about it. And I don't want to be, I don't want to have a negative, you know, reputation with people at school. So yeah.
Okay. So you've got some readiness to change, and particularly because you want to work on your reputation at school, and you also just don't want your parents on your back all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, great. So, given that, what steps could you take to reduce your drinking? And again, we're not talking about not drinking at all. In this case, you can actually just cut back your drinking if that's what you think would be best for you. And again, I want to highlight, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to help you think about what you would like to do in order to just make sure you're taking care of yourself.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, well, I guess it's possible I could just not drink on Sundays. I mean, generally Sundays are not even, and it's not a party day, obviously.
Sure.
So I could just not drink Sundays, you know, completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense, to stop drinking on Sunday. Then you'd be able to study on that day, where your grades might come up a little bit, and you'd
no hangover the next morning.
Absolutely. You'd definitely not have that hangover, and that would be great to be able to wake up at 6 and not have to deal with that, I imagine. And then you'd also just have one more day where you don't have your parents always asking you about what's going on, and so I see that making a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah, and so since you've got some readiness to change, how do you feel about possibly trying out just temporarily? Again, this doesn't have to be permanent, where you just possibly give up drinking on Sundays. Would that be something you'd be interested in trying?
Yeah, that sounds fine. Doesn't sound like too hard of a task. I mean,
Sure.
yeah, I could try that. Yeah.
Well, I mentioned earlier that this change, and really any change, can be very difficult. And so I'd like to figure out how to make sure that you're successful with this. And so I was wondering what kind of resources you have in your life to help you succeed. And I guess first of all, I'd like to know, is faith and spirituality important to you?
Yeah, actually. Me and my family, we go to church every Sunday. And yeah, and I like going. I believe everything they say, and but I don't find myself living by it that often.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, so it's important to you, but your drinking really doesn't fit in with your faith right now.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes the sermons or whatever kind of talk about that kind of stuff, and I kind of feel guilty. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and that's not a good place to be.
Mm-mm.
What I'd actually like to see is your faith actually being able to help you with this problem, not just making you feel bad. So is there any way that your faith or spirituality can help you with this problem?
Well, actually, yeah. At my church, there's like small youth group, small groups,
Yeah.
And a lot of people get together during the week, and we talk about our problems, and I've heard some of the problems of that group, and they're similar to mine, And so I feel like if I were to go there, I would fit right in. So I guess that would be a good environment to help.
Okay, sounds like you can really be honest there, and they're really supportive and would be willing to help you with this.
Yeah, for sure.
Great, yeah. So I think it would be definitely part of our plan for changing this to include going to this youth group and sharing a little bit and seeing if they can help you with making this change and just being a support too.
For sure.
Okay. Well, we always know that any change can be difficult, and so I don't want to underestimate it, but it sounds like you're ready to make that change. And so I think that makes a lot of sense for you. And based on what you said, that could definitely help your overall just feeling better and you're accomplishing your goals in life. So great. Well, would it be all right if the next time we meet in about a week, if I bring this up with you and see how you did with your being able to follow through with this and not drinking on Sunday?
Yeah, for sure. Next week, I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's about it for our time today. It was
Okay.
great to meet you, and I appreciate you being so open and honest with me. Look forward to seeing you in a week.
Sweet. All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, absolutely.